Star Wars Battlefront 2, the 2017 reboot, just hit a new all-time player count on Steam in 2025. While it's true that the game wasn't available on Steam at launch, the feat is still impressive. It's also part of a bigger story. After years of being mostly abandoned, Star Wars Battlefront 2 has suddenly surged in popularity. But why? Star Wars Battlefront 2's launch was marred by one of the most infamous controversies in gaming history. A predatory loot box system, pay-to-win mechanics, and an aggressively anti-consumer progression model overshadowed the game itself, souring both critical reception and commercial prospects. Who could forget the shameful "the intent is to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment" line? The most downvoted Reddit comment of all time. It was a PR disaster of galactic proportions. Well, believe it or not, EA and DICE actually fixed it. The progression system was completely overhauled. Paid loot boxes and pay-to-win elements were scrapped. Now heroes and star card upgrades are earned at a reasonable pace through gameplay. Cosmetics, which don't affect gameplay, are far more accessible. In fact, the Celebration Edition, the only version available on Steam, unlocks every cosmetic item from the start at no extra cost. The controversy discouraged many from ever giving Battlefront 2 a fair shot, not just because of the monetization model, but because it fundamentally disrupted game balance. Getting steamrolled by players with maxed out kits they paid for felt terrible. But today, progression is much fairer, the playing field is significantly more level, and the core gameplay finally has a chance to shine. Years later, Battlefront 2 has become what it always had the potential to be, a genuinely great Star Wars game. The Star Wars Battlefront formula has always had a strong appeal. Personally, I was hooked on the originals as a kid. The version we're discussing now, Battlefront 2, holds up incredibly well for its age. It's sometimes hard to believe it launched over 7 years ago. The visuals alone could still pass for a modern release. Today's Battlefront 2 is a dramatically improved version of what launched in 2017. EA and DICE added a massive amount of post-launch content over 2.5 years. All of it was free too. The gameplay was revamped as well, so if you tried it early on and walked away unimpressed, it might be time to give it another try. In an era where online games are more cutthroat than ever and optimized with skill-based matchmaking systems, Battlefront 2 offers a refreshing change of pace. It's a more casual multiplayer shooter built around large-scale battles on iconic Star Wars maps, diverse class-based combat, and the chance to play as legendary characters. It's just a good time, plus it perfectly captures the spirit of Star Wars. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is legitimately good now, and judging by its rapid resurgence, a lot of people are finally starting to notice. Battlefront 2 is undeniably better now, but EA hasn't actively supported it since 2020, so how did it all of a sudden explode in popularity again? A few key factors came together to create the perfect storm, and Battlefront 2 happened to be in the right place at the right time. First, the player spike hit in May, coinciding with the annual May the 4th celebration, aka Star Wars Day. It's also the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, which returned to theaters, rekindling nostalgia across the fan base. And maybe most importantly, Season 2 of Andor just wrapped up. The critically acclaimed television series left fans wanting more, and with some free time on their hands, even the actors helped fuel the hype. Muhannad Ben Amor, who plays Wilman Pak in Andor, posted on Instagram about growing up playing Battlefront 2, and Janina Gavankar, Iden version, in the game celebrated its unexpected revival. Then there's the wave of Star Wars content across games. Fortnite is in the middle of a full-blown Star Wars-themed season, reminding players that there's a real Star Wars multiplayer shooter still out there. And we may need to give some credit to Arc Raiders 2, the sci-fi extraction shooter from former EA and DICE developers, concluded its playtest just as interest in Battlefront 2 began picking up again. In search of something to scratch that same itch, many players turned to Battlefront 2. Add to that the power of word of mouth. As more players rediscovered the game, streamers and content creators jumped on board, and their audiences followed. One person tells a friend who tells another, and before long, it spreads like wildfire. Honestly, this article might convince someone else to dive in too.